Hey, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Oh, we got my brother Ansel already in the building. Look, we ready to go. We are
Already,
ready to
man.
go.
I thought the stream y'all done jumped the gun, man. It jumped the
Look,
gun. We were supposed to bring Ansel up to the stage, man. It's all good. We live, y'all, man.
hey, man.
Thank y'all for joining us. We got Ansel Butler here to talk about really what art means to him and why does he do what he do at such a high level. And but before we do that, though, man, we just want to kind of take the personal privilege of introducing ourselves. I mean, I'm Cirillo. Y'all call me Rillo, man. We on Black, we don't chase it live. I got my dog George Chuck over here, back at it again. Chuck, say what's up to the people, bro.
Look, what's up, everybody? Thank everybody for tuning in, tapping in to all of our people over on Twitch, on the Facebook, and also on YouTube. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. Make sure you let us know where you are and where you're coming from, whether you're on whatever particular platform that we tapping in. And I want to give a shout out to some of our folks that have tapped in with us here recently. Our brother Jay Mims. They got the Change Fest going on, so we definitely want to give them a shout out. That's popping off this weekend, 12 to 6 p.m. Saturday, the 21st, Central Library, 1 Margaret Mitchell Square, Atlanta, Georgia. And we back at it, man. Real low. What's up?
Man, man, just out here in DC, man, just trying to make it, man. It's funny because my office is literally right by the White House. And, in protest, obviously, with the Palestine and Israel, kind of war, if you will, going on right now. But that's always really been going on. It just has another level. But just so folks know that yesterday there was a lot of Jewish folk, and rabbis actually really kind of held it down at the Capitol in the rotunda. And some folks were arrested for, civil disobedience, if you will. But the real more impressive part of it was they literally shut down Independence. So if you ever been to DC, the Capitol sits here. Independence kind of borders the Capitol, and so they basically shut down the entire.
Oh, did we lose Rillo?
DC might have did that.
Hey, you said Jewish folk and they cut your they cut you off, dog. That boy said Jews.
We got the free. You got. Oh. Hey, man, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Man, look, I was like, I see it's doing it. It's doing it to me. It's doing it.
Look. Yesterday we were on with Sister Nikki, and she was talking. She's based in Charlotte. She didn't even say anything, about those buzzwords. They listening now, dog.
Hey, bro. Hey, man, watch your mouth. Hey, look.
Hey, watch your mouth. That's what I said when you froze. I was like,
you can't, man. Look, I just want to say this, look, man. Like, I was just trying to give people the what's the latest and greatest on this. I wouldn't say the greatest, but more update. Look, y'all.
If you're not CNN, shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Now, look, though, just so people know, update on where the House GOP is, reporting on DC right now. The House GOP still can't get it together. Jim Jordan, who was going to be the next person in line, really the third person now, because Scalise went up there. He turned it down because he didn't have enough votes. And so Jim Jordan now from Ohio is no longer going to do a third vote on him as speaker. So now the House GOP needs to go and figure out what they're going to do. Currently, minority leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York, he has 212 votes. 212. If he got 4 votes from somewhere, he will actually be the leader of the House. That won't happen, people, because no way on God's green earth will the GOP just give that up. They will shut down this country. They will shut the country down.
It's already
before
shut
any
down.
leader, before we actually try to progress this country forward. So anyway, on that note, in the spirit of progress in art and all things good, we want to officially welcome Ansel Butler to the stage, man. Good to have you here on Black Window Chaser Live.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate your time.
There we go.
Man, look. So I gotta ask. The hat, man. The hat, man. Who's the hat by? People want to know, man. I think folks want to know.
I can't tell you who the hat is by, man. If I give that away, everybody gonna have a hat like my hat. But no, that's my man down here in Atlanta and up in New York as well. If you have not heard of BM Franklin, that dude is phenomenal. Like the whole, I've got like the paint brushes. Hold on, let me get that in front of the camera. I have
that's slick.
Brushes, and he did like some slashes and some unique stuff. So if you're looking for it, literally, you can find him. Hold on, www.bmfranklin.com. Handcrafted since 2000, and there you go. You're already on.
Shout out to BM Franklin Company, man. Look, got.
I wanted to keep them to myself, but you know, since you asked me about it, that's that guy right there. You
gotta spread the love, man. Because as I don't have many hats. I got a couple of those, and every time I see a real good one, I'm always interested in that way.
Look, everybody ain't gonna have them because he got a lot of stuff sold out.
Yeah. Like he brings stuff in from outside of the country. Some of the stuff just amazing experience.
Yeah.
If you go into his IG, you'll see him crowning a lot of people, and it's just a really customized experience. They have glasses, they have a variety of different things that they do over there.
Yeah,
but there it is right there on the left. You know, the experience is just beautiful. If you go up to his New York shop, that's an amazing location as well. But like he's down here in the A, man, and we love him. You know, the whole cast and crew is just dope. They do amazing work.
Now, how long you been in the
A? 16 years.
Oh, you a local?
I'm a transplant, man. I'm originally from Nebraska, so I got a little corn in me. I lived in Texas. I've moved around, man. California.
Yeah.
So shout out to my daughter Kayla. Shout out to Pam and my oldest sister Geneva, my oldest brother Marvin, nephew Justin. But we're man. I've been all over the place, man.
You play any golf? Are you a golfer?
Oh, bro, don't. My clubs sit in my living room. A set, they're just like sitting there in the corner. So when you want to get some,
look. Mr. Butler, we don't want to do this on live television, or whatever you want to call this up here. But I will come down to Atlanta.
I gotta give me a smoke button.
Flights from Delta. I heard the flights from Delta are not that expensive from DC.
That's fire, bro.
I'm not.
That's fire. I mean, they're that close to me. These are rubber practice balls for inside the house. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, look,
I reached over and I look. Here's a green one. You wanted that just to show you. And then if we go over, if I go over there, I can show you some tournament stuff. But we don't need to do all that.
We got hardware. We got hardware to show. Now look, I only asked that because we're on the topic of art, and I seen that you actually really cover sports in your artwork. But I saw a bunch of folks, a couple of 2-3 pieces, I think, in your original collection that I thought were. I said, man, people don't really paint anything like that, like golf, unless you either have some influence in golf, you play golf, maybe combination of the two. I gotta bring it up, and if we can, man, Chuck, maybe pull up a couple of those golf pieces so we can just pull them up really quickly and have a conversation about it. But while we on this, I gotta make sure that I plug in with my boy Drew, man. He's been looking for some people to play with down there. He's kind of new to golf. He's and if he's watching this, man, he's about, I think he's probably 18 handicap, 17 handicap. from what I heard about the hardware, I'm assuming that you got to be in the single digits or something like that. But he ain't there yet. But looking for some good brothers to play with. So I mean,
man,
y'all should link for sure.
I have a group of guys that we play. I live in Cobb County, which is northwest, and we primarily play at Fox and Legacy, but we travel, do a variety of different things. We get out of state, but what I will say is give him my information. I think you guys, if you don't have my telephone number, I'll give it to you offline, and just have him call me. There's such a large variety. Like even digging into 100 Black Men down here, there's a lot of golfers. They have the Grays tournament, and that's a good tournament to get in and network and really build some relationships. But yeah, I mean, I can meet him anywhere in the city and we just go hit balls, man. It's starting to get a little chilly out there, but that don't scare me. I'm from up north.
Man, look, man. My rule of golf is
on the coat, huh?
40 degrees with no wind and above, I'm there. Now, if it's 40 degrees with wind, I ain't playing. But
hey, man, if we already out there, we gotta keep swinging till the game over, man.
To the game over, bro.
Keep swinging.
When I first started playing, I just really started playing, but this is like maybe 3.5 years ago now. I remember my first eagle that I made. I remember like yesterday. It was a short. The forward tees were up, man, because it's the winter and they push all the tees up. And it was a short par 4, and I got on the green and won. Right, so I played it out and got an eagle. But the temperature that day, I'm telling you right now, had to be about 34, 35 degrees, and I'm out there and I don't even know how I really even moved my arms and did what I need to do. But that's when you at peak junkie level of golf. And if anybody knows, if you ever play golf, that it gets pretty addictive, y'all. So if you don't want any addictions, do not get into golf. Don't start playing.
You had a hoodie on,
bro. I wish I had the outfit.
A parka.
I wish I had a photo of it. I'm out here, but I had a beanie on, the hoodie on, winter gloves, full-fledged, like, bro, it was terrible. I said never again though. I'm never going out there below 40. Now, but above 40, no win.
You do it.
I'm there.
You need to move to Florida.
Oh, funny you should mention that.
We'll be headed there soon.
I've been spending a lot of time in Florida lately, and I will tell you, the golf down there is amazing. Especially in South Florida, man, you really can't get much better weather. I mean, the courses down there are pristine. I mean, look, y'all, we can talk about this all day on the golf.
Go to West Palm. If you haven't been to West Palm.
I'm going to West Palm this weekend.
Yeah. West Palm is the place to be. The number
the
of
par 3 course, that par 3 course on Atlantic. Look,
yeah.
Hey, look, come on, man.
Well, man. We supposed to be talking about art.
We are talking about art.
The art of golf.
That's the science and the art of golf. Because you gotta have all of the angles just right to make sure that you stroking that ball, man. So
not you out here, Paul. Wait, hold on. Oh my God, man! You're not going.
Hey man, I had to do something to break y'all look.
Oh my God, but
I went all the way there for the golf conversation, man.
I don't want to repeat what you just said just now. I don't want to repeat that.
Go ahead. It's a money shot.
Down there and stroking him, but I said, my God, are you gonna just sit up there, boy?
What, man? You don't feel it.
You insulted me, and I got
you don't feel insulted, do you?
Hey, man. But no, in all seriousness, though, man. Ansel, tell us about, man. First of all, man, like who you are, brother. I know we know you from Omaha, Nebraska. Living down in Atlanta right now. But what inspires your art and why you do what you do. Because I feel like that's really a big piece about being an artist. I tried to be an artist. I took as my first actual college credit was in art. True story. And took it all through college. And I did a bunch of mixed media, abstract kind of artwork, and really exploring line and color. At a certain level, but I put it down. It takes too much time. I realized, like, look, man, it's special kind of folks that can get in there and really dig in and be deep with that art, not just talking about mental, but like doing it over and over and over and over and over again. And so like, what really inspires you to get up every day and you know that this piece may never go for anything, right? But you go, you know what though, like I'm gonna do it because this is what I just like doing every day. You know what I mean? Because that's a different kind of love for the game.
I think, to your point, one of the most important things is that I always wanted to do as a child. When my eldest brother asked me, my eldest brother Marvin asked me, he said, "What do you want to do?" And he's a doctor, and that was the push coming from my family because my family's medical. And I said, I want to draw. And he said, let me look in my medical book and see where that's at. No, I don't see that. And so, and my mother, as supportive as a parent as she was, she really didn't understand it. And she pushed me into certain things that would dissuade me from actually doing the business.
Sure.
And you just couldn't stop me. I always knew that this was supposed to be my destiny, and it was all I wanted to do. And so what inspires me is life, the love, the hate. I paint about my life, and then existentially, other people's. So you're dealing with, your culture. You're dealing with your culture's music. You're dealing with your culture's history. These are the things that inspire me. And so, I paint those things and I carve those things and I sculpt those things. And so with that, you want to share that because there are people that are out there that are experiencing the same thoughts. They just can't visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring good things to life like GE. That's the way I look at it. And
I
actually I just, no offense, GE, I don't own that. You own that. But, I'm just saying that like what you do is you're just basically giving a visual to the word or to the feeling or to the thought and the emotion. And so I think that that's really critical. The other aspect to answer your question is I had to work in corporate America for a really long time to get to what I wanted to do.
What were you doing before though?
So I worked, initially I worked in HR and recruiting. And then eventually I went into agency, which was more money. And eventually I've worked for some huge corporations like Americode, Korn Ferry, and, managed groups and managed teams. But my whole thing was, this is all I want to do. At the end of the day, like when I die, this is my legacy. Is for my daughter, for my family, this is my legacy. And as much as I've had even individuals in my family who were like, what are you doing? This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is who I am. So love it or hate it, this is what I do.
I've had some conversations with some folk. We're planning this thing called the Mississippi Black Business Expo. And we do it in a sense to give people the opportunity to take the hobby that they've been doing in private while they're going to work and putting in, insane amount of hours, 60, 80 hours a week for something that you look at as a job when you're really passionate about this thing that you will do throughout the night, after work, first thing in the morning, before you go to. It sounds like that was you for a while.
You're reading the book of my life, because essentially when I was in corporate America, I would get off at whatever time, eat, and then I'd be painting until 2 o'clock in the morning. I have to be at work at 7, just because of what my job required at that particular time, or at 8 or 9, whatever that was. So, back then I had the kind of energy where I could separate. Shout out to Southern University. I think that's on this arm right here. So I got to rep that.
Everybody, let's go.
I'm a Jag, bro.
Yeah, my mom, she a Jag, man. So,
I love that, man.
I'm a rattler, you know what I mean? I'm a fan. Like, sorry we had to come down there, man, recently and hand y'all that L burger, man. Look, we ain't gotta talk about that right now. You know, we interviewing you, brother. We not getting no.
It sounds like
we gonna come back to this offline and have a history on that right there, so that we can talk about what that because I played down there and I used to play that game. So at the end of the day, we gonna catch up on that. But I think that, like, just one of the most amazing things, and hopefully this really aligns. You know, I had my first business at 14 and a half, and in Nebraska. And so, like, growing up there, we always had these amazing teachers, and I didn't understand the history of it. And this is going to tie into what we were just talking about. And all of these teachers were brought up by Dr. Skinner, who was the second over Omaha Public Schools, OPS, and it was a brother. Okay. And he was bringing all these people up from HBCUs that were very hard on us. And I would see certain Black teachers and I was like, what? Why are you like this? And just always plugging. And there was this one particular lady, Mrs. Clinton, Willie Clinton, and she was always pushing. And you know, I was trying to figure it out. And then, like, I went to Nebraska, and then left Nebraska, and then went to Southern. And I was down there and I was like, everybody here is pushing. Mm-hmm. Everybody here is in your butt every single day. And I had already had my airbrush business and I was doing it on the campus, but it was not about the fact that I had that business and had the grind. It was how you apply it. Mm-hmm. How do you apply it? And so, going back to your question about me working and me painting, it was because you always have to stay grinding. Sleep, it's a byproduct. It's man, I've had plenty of people that are in my life that are associates, friends, whatever. They're like, how do you do what you do? Because you have a static, your schedule's all over the place. And it's like, I'll work until 7 a.m. and then I'll get back up at like maybe, 9, 10 o'clock because I gotta go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I gotta do this. I got a client that needs a frame for their painting, whatever. And that's not based on me. That's based on what the need is. And so, sleep is is comfortable, is good, but it's not everything. That's probably why I have so many bags under my eyes. So
you get it what you need.
I gotta ask people, man. As an entrepreneur myself, and Chuck, same thing, man. Is I know what the straw was that broke the camel's back. Like, I know when I walked into work one day and I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm actually done. I'm done. When you was working these HR jobs, working agency jobs, and probably making decent money at the time, what was the thing you was like, today is really the day? Like, I'm submitting this 2-week notice, or I'm leaving right now, regardless what it is. Like, because I think there's sometimes like I feel like there's so many commonalities amongst people that actually say, I'm gonna take a chance on myself, right? And so just kind of getting it out there on the air is like, what was that? What was that straw for you?
I was at an amazing company called First Pro here in Atlanta, and it was me moving here and the cost of moving here and just that whole dynamic. I said, okay, I'm going to take a job for a year. And I ended up taking that job for 2 years because I got promoted 3 times and I was the regional director for them. Great opportunity, great job. But I had a studio in Midtown, so I would live at the studio between work and home and everything like that. So I was working strictly in the pharmaceutical industry, and I was bringing the business in, and I was putting the bacon on the stove and cooking the bacon. I ran teams here in Philadelphia, and we were opening up an office in Cambridge, in Boston, and I was running that. And bruh, my boss, who was a brother, he basically, I came in one day, he had fired one of the people that I brought in while I was on vacation. That was number one. Number two, he said, oh, we got to cut your salary in half, because at that time there was a lot of mergers and acquisitions that were going on between a lot of the pharmaceutical companies. And this was in 2009, 2010. So you were getting a lot of companies that were getting ate up. Until that happens, you can't do any contract movement. You can't do any hiring, anything like that. So there's a freeze on that. Now I'm still bringing companies in, but you want to do what? You want to cut my salary by half, but how much are they cutting your salary? And they're not cutting your salary. Yeah. And so at that point, I told him, I said, okay. And I started coming in at 11 o'clock. You cut my salary in half, you get half.
I'm cutting hours.
I'm cutting my time. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't get my time back. So I might as well spend the first half of my day at the studio. Get more work done with that, for when I'm doing my shows. For sure. So that was my end all be all. And like when he came at me after that, because I was doing a half a day, I was like, you on the golf course, because I'm on the golf course with you.
Right.
You're at the strip club, because I'm at the strip club with you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still bringing in all the business, and you want to cut my salary in half, and I'm the person that's managing. I'm doing your work when you're at the strip club and you sitting up and you're at the golf club.
You spending my bread. This is my bread you spending.
You spending my bread. Your kids, their education is paid for by the owners of the company. You're driving a Range Rover. Now I had a nice car, but they gave you the Range Rover because of your position. So I'm doing all this. I'm literally doing all the work, and half.
Nah, gotta go.
This how you feel,
man. Listen,
I got to kick your ass right now. And
oh, no. What happened was he stood up behind his desk when I was in his office, and I stood up and I said, "Sit down, because you don't do that. Don't say that."
You don't want to
it's no, bro. I'm a lot smaller. Like I'm healthy small now. I was a lot bigger back then, and I was like, "You don't want this, man. Sit down."
What position did you
over there on that side? We're safe. I was like, because I'm about to blow all this shit up, and that whole division was gone in like a year.
Now you said you played ball. You played ball. What position did you play?
Oh man, running back, DB. I mainly DB, kickoff return, punt return. Yeah. Short, fast, and could in the dirt.
Get after it. Yeah. Omaha style.
Yeah, man. I mean, we got a lot of great athletes, man. I mean, if you're really tracking, there's a lot of people that come from Nebraska.
Yeah, you got. I mean, obviously Nebraska football, right? But I mean, you got a lot of great baseball in Nebraska as well. I mean, the College World Series is right there in Omaha. So I mean, it's like crown jewel of one.
But who you're not talking about is my boy Terrence Crawford.
Oh no. I mean, we can talk about Terrence now. I mean, Terrence Crawford is an actual dog. A dog. So I mean, they got talent that come out of Nebraska. I mean, obviously, I don't think Nebraska gets enough credit for the amount of talent that comes out of there. But I think that maybe one of these days, what we should do is, we should do that. We should really start maybe covering states sometimes, like just the talent of Black talent coming from those states. I think people forget about like the Tulsas and the Omahas and stuff like that, because
Gabby. Well, you guys call it Gabriel. There's Gabriel Union.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of people that are from Nebraska that you don't know.
Boy, Ansel from Nebraska. Gabby, like they on first name basis. Like, come on, man. Like,
come on, Gabby. Now, after you about the art real quick. So your process. I mean, because we got a little bit more. We got a few more minutes here, and I want people to understand, like, when you about to put the paintbrush to the canvas, right? Because I believe that the title of the show is brushing the canvas of life, right? So when you about to brush the canvas of life, what's your
go ahead, keep going.
What you gearing up for? Like, what you doing? What you thinking about?
I'm gonna show you something.
Hold on.
Okay. This.
Let me solo, my man.
This is a symmetrical. It's part of my symmetrical series. And what you're seeing is you have layers of wood, and I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have layers of wood that I put together, and every time that you get a different layer, the color changes or the dynamic changes of the piece. Even his skin color, when you see his arm or you see his face, it changes. And so just to kind of give you a perspective, do you see that angle?
I do.
Yeah.
So you have layers, and this is in development, but this is, do you remember the movie Field of Dreams?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, this is called Their Field of Dreams. And this is, I like to put perspective. That's nighttime and that's daytime. We was out in them cotton fields.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I do, as I stated earlier, is I like to really get an idea of my pain, my passion, my joy, my hate, whatever it is, and I like to develop something. So I'm a businessman that does art because I work in corporate America, so I approach it as a business. And so with that, what I do is I want to develop a feeling. I want to develop something that when you see it, it touches you like it touches me.
Mm-hmm.
And so with this particular piece, instead of it being Field of Dreams, it's Their Field of Dreams, because Their Field of Dreams was free. It was free labor, right? Daytime to nighttime. And so like at the base of it, just like the developmental aspect of it, there's going to be cotton in there.
Yeah.
Not just the cotton that I'm painting, there's going to be cotton in the piece that overlays with like the framing and stuff like that. And so I just want to develop a feeling. And what I discovered was when I can do layers or different things like that, when I can do wood and impact the wood in a way where people haven't necessarily, they say that there's nothing new under the sun, but I truly believe that like there's different ways to do things that people haven't seen. You can develop.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what it is that I try to do. I try and impact you. A lot of times people will see my work online and not realize what it looks like in person. So they don't get what this looks like in person. And then they'll come in person and it's like, oh, I didn't know. And so that's the thing. Like when I do any kind of carving, you've looked at pieces that you don't even know that are refined pieces of wood. One, it's done on wood. Two, what I've done is I've done a relief, which means it has feeling and texture to it. But you don't know that from the photograph. But when you come and you see it at a show that I'm doing or at a gallery or at a museum, it's like, oh, I didn't know. And so that's what my process is to shock all, to give you a different layer of viewing and discovery. It's to touch you. Like Stitches in Life. That's one of the things. Oh my God, that's one of my babies right there. That's old. Like that has like two different versions of it. That's an old piece right there. But like just understanding all of the different stuff that's in there and what we've gone through and how much we struggle. Man, you want to remind people because we forget, especially this generation right now. We really don't know where we come from because it's so easy to forget, because all you have AI, which is a great scary thing, but it's like, do you even know where you came from and what that is and how people struggle and what life looks like? You know, what life really looks like, the dirtiness of it, man. And me coming from Omaha, all I wanted to do, as much as I love my city, as much as I love where it is that I come from, I just wanted to go.
Yeah.
Let me survive this and get out alive and go somewhere and thrive. And so, you know, that's another thing is like
that's the Marvel piece right there. That's one of the oldie but goodies right there, man. I was looking at that one too, man. It reminded me of stuff that I used to do. Really, that one really spoke to me. You know what I mean? It looked like something that, you know, I can see that right now, like a big old piece in the living room, or maybe like off in the dining room or something like that, or maybe even the office space. I was like, that one right there spoke to me. I mean, that's a dope
I'm gonna
piece.
tell you what I thought when I saw it.
Thank you.
I'll say that I think and I don't know if this is what you were going for, but brother, this could be turned into like I'm seeing an Ansel Butler like home collection. You got backsplashes that are inspired by
Yeah,
your art.
that's like imagine wallpaper that's actually that artwork. Like, you know,
Man.
literally like
And
individual.
then you have another piece that goes like the actual piece that hangs. Like say this is in your dining room, and then you got the actual textured piece, like one of those layered pieces that you talking about. Like that would be super dope. So it's like there's this okay, all right, I'm gonna be quiet.
You know what?
You know what? Just take me.
Man, take him out. And you know what, man? You know which one I also like really enjoyed was the noted one, man. I for some reason like that black hand, that black finger, that brown finger touching that kind of white piano key. It really was like it's a lot going on in that piece, man. That like sometimes when I like think about an artist, and that's why it's so important, man. If folks out there getting into art and why they do profiles on the artist, because it helps you ascertain more about the artist so you can understand the artwork itself. Like you got to know where they came from, the education, the their background, the struggles, right? Because without understanding that, it's really tough to look at an artist work and go, I understand. Because some things usually won't understand on its face, or you won't get the full weight of what that artwork is really about. You know what I mean? So yeah.
When you were just like showing the African piece, the two girls that were in line, that's an African piece, and that comes from me traveling and going to Africa and seeing these young ladies that are just trying to get an education and how
beautiful piece, by the way. Beautiful.
You don't think about that, man, and so it's like we don't realize, like, if an Oprah Winfrey goes over there and starts a school, it's because she went over there and she realized they ain't get no education. They just mamas having babies and that's it. There's no education. And so like it's so important to spotlight that so that people see that. So there's a reason why I do what it is that I do. And it's like, okay, well, why? And so I get to say why, which highlights it. I get to answer the question, and that becomes their baby, and it goes into their home, and then it's now an adopted child. You know what I'm saying? Because these are my children. And so each piece has something that means something. You were looking at the Negro League piece, man.
Yeah.
The Negro League, like that's not that when I took that photo of that, it was before it got signed. And that's a story that we don't even have time for. Like I was doing my very first show down here in Atlanta, and it got signed by two Negro League greats that are now deceased that saw it, and one of them is in it. And he was like, well, that's not the original lineup. And I was like, it can't be the original lineup because it would be infringement.
Right.
So I put two different lineups because I understand infringement law. So I had to put two different lineups together. And he was like, well, that's me right there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like this. Can you do this for me? And I was like, of course. Yes, sir. It would be my pleasure. And they signed off. And I was like, oh my God. And so, you know, now my piece has a value that it didn't have prior to just those things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if I do something that deals with Tuskegee, if I do something that is like, I have this piece that I created that is this, and I love this piece. You might have seen it online. It is the funeral of a civil rights leader.
Oh yeah. No, that one right there was actually one of the ones I was like, wow, that was
I just, man, it's like I'm a history miner. So like I get in the books, I look, I research, I find, and then I apply it. And that's all you can do. And everybody's not for you. Everybody's not for you. But the people that are for you. And that's what it's all about for me, man. At the end of the day. Yeah, at the end of the day. Like I just put the energy into it. And if somebody likes it and somebody buys it, Great.
Cool. Nah, bro. I think you're doing amazing work, honestly. I think that like because we literally was talking about this on Tuesday, I believe, about storytelling and the power of storytelling, like in the ways in which that happens, right? Whether it's through art and what you do, whether it's actually through film production, whether it's through spoken word, right? Whatever dance, whatever the culture is, right? It's like this need to tell stories by any means, like my boy Chuck Shirt says, breathe by any means, to ensure that these stories are getting through to our young people and inspiring our young folks in a way where they feel seen, appreciated. It reminds me of I don't know if you ever seen it's one of those like table kind of coffee table books, and it's called Unseen. Yeah, powerful book. It's basically it, and we gonna go down from this place in a second, and so you get the last words how folks can get in touch with you and buy your work. But it's a book, and it's a bunch of photographs of Black folk over time. Basically getting into like not just the polished version of this or that version of Blackness, literally like all forms of Blackness showing up in ways in which media kind of misses the essence of Blackness in America. And so that book, Unseen, if y'all have not seen it, you should check it out. I think it's a powerful book of photography that folks should check out. But anyway, Chuck, what you got?
So Ansel, I want you to, as you close us out, I want you to speak to the person that may be in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, but then also that college student that has that talent, that has that idea. Can you speak to them in the way that you wish somebody had spoke to you years ago?
Have your business acclimate together. Understand that whether you're formally taught or you just have the talent, understand what business is. Understand what your value is. Stop giving your stuff away. Nobody appreciates anything that's free. You need to value your time. And we keep talking about time today. You can't get time back. So at the end of the day, what I would say is be observant, be a student of the game. Go ask, watch. People aren't always going to give you the entire recipe. So don't be upset with that. Okay. You gotta cook your own noodles. So at the end of the day, like when you're in this thing, if you love this thing and you want this thing, never give it up. Because as gray as this is, when I started in this thing, I didn't have any hair. Started at 14 and a half, airbrushing. And if you go to Nebraska, they'll tell you that's that guy that started that thing. Every background that you stood in front of was my background. But I had to understand business. I mean, I've been doing this thing since there wasn't, you weren't doing credit. You was doing cash. So I kept cash in my pockets. You understand what I'm saying? But I also had a receipt book. And my stepfather.
Folk had, boy, look, I remember the receipt book, boy.
Hey, bro. Hey, no. We talking about carbon copy.
No, look,
carbon copy.
Look, my mama was a
put that
a Bell's bondsman back in the day. And that little pink slip, and you got that little yellow slip underneath, but in between that was the carbon.
There you go.
Yeah. I came across a receipt book a time or two. I tell you that.
Go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I still got one back there just in case.
Hey, man, even if it's a game, you got to be playing to win, right? So, and you said, what would I tell them? Okay, help me, help you, help me, help you. Because at the end of the day, like I give it for free. Yeah, my time is valuable, but like there are plenty of people that I'm out there and I see something and it's like you got to touch that person because they're not understanding and they can do it a different way. You're getting angry. Listen, there's a statement, one of my favorite movies, where a character says, well, that's a cold statement. The truth has no temperature. The truth has no temperature. So at the end of the day, it's like, do you want to learn this thing or do you want to burn this thing? What do you want to do with it? Yeah. And so you have to get better as you go on. You have to learn different techniques, different approaches to different things. We were talking about golf earlier, right? There's a different approach. You got to read the line. You got to read the grounds. You got to see what the wind is doing. There's a process that's involved in everything. I hated oil. I hated oil. For years, I ran from oil.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pamela came and said, here's some oil. You need to paint oil. My family. And so that's what got me to where it is that I'm at, where I can paint oil now.
That was the nudge.
Because I had to stop being afraid of being patient. And I had to learn, you're focused on one thing. Stop focusing. And I'm still talking to the people that you asked me to talk to. Stop focusing on one painting and work on multiple paintings.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't have the patience for oil, and so I'm talking to you because you were talking about the difficulty of building it up and doing it over and over and over again. Work on multiple projects. Work on multiple projects. Get your variety in, whatever it is that you need to do. Because I got about like 15 of them stacked over there in that corner that are current projects. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like if I get to the point where this one, because it's on wood, it dries fast because the wood sucks it in. But if I'm working on a regular canvas, you dig what I'm saying? I got to put it up and pick another canvas up. And that's getting your groove on. Also, have music when you paint. And don't pick up your phone unless it's an emergency. I paint overnight, mainly because it's quiet and nobody is calling me.
Yeah.
So, that's like I said, at night, it's everybody sleep, man. I get to do it. So, if you have that bandwidth, if you can do that, just structure your life.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't need to do that, don't do it.
Yeah.
Get to your grind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
we appreciate that.
For somebody else or whoever it is that wants to listen or not. Yeah, that's real.
Man, look, I always say if you can inspire somebody, one person, man, I think the job well done. Honestly, man. I mean, everybody's not gonna, just like you said earlier, everybody's not gonna catch on, everybody's not gonna gravitate towards you. But if one person right now is watching and say, you know what though, if it's not art, but there was something
it doesn't matter
that was on my heart that I wanted to do, I think that the message was well received. That's what I think.
If you want to be a doctor or engineer, it's still the same thing.
Same thing.
Look, Shalaiman, man, I told we Shalaiman Duke, man. The reason why I went to law school is because Shalaiman was like, he asked me a very rhetorical question that he already knew the answer to, which was, how long is law school? I said it's 3 years. And he said, all right, young man, in 3 years, you could either be walking across that stage or you could be chilling in the backyard with me with a red cup in your hand. I mean, the choice is yours. I mean, you literally, this is like, life is about choices. And I was like, bro, you cool, but I don't be sitting back here 3 years in the backyard, man, with a red cup in my hand talking to you. Like, and that was the moment for me, man. And I think that more or less, like, bro, like, time will go by out there, people, man, and y'all gotta decide on if you want to take your life serious. Because either way, though, the time is a moving. Time is a moving.
Go, like, I love where I'm from. I love where I'm from, but it's also a cautionary tale. I go back, and it's like you're still selling weed. We in our 50s, and you still are in your mom's basement.
Damn.
Selling the same weed. You haven't graduated to some other substance. It's like,
That's it.
Saying that online, but I'm just saying, you haven't graduated. You're still doing the exact same thing.
Or any alternative, man. If that's your thing, find a way to scale it legitimately. So
be a pharmacist. If you can steal stereos, do you remember when people stole stereos out of cars?
Yeah.
If you can steal a stereo out of a car, you can put it in the car. See, I've had this conversation and done this lecture before. So anything that's illicit, you can turn it, because anything that's legal, they turned it illegal. If it was illegal, you're an attorney. If it was illegal, you had to legalize it, right?
Alcohol.
Everything.
I just feel like, man, to be honest with you, I think that sometimes the idea is that, like, I think you got to get education regardless of how you get the education, right?
Yeah.
I think some folks, they try to fast track and try to like remove themselves from like a part of the process, and the process is the process, and like you gonna get the education no one way or another, and just a matter of like really I believe like the choices about life is that how you want your life to show up. You know what I mean? I think that like either one of us, anybody, in most cases, man, like a lot of folks, especially coming from the backgrounds we come from, could easily say I'm gonna make this decision because it's the easier decision at the time. But buddy, the easy decision, I mean, I think I've probably chosen the road less traveled, which is why, you know, it's taking me to, you know, I think even Chuck is, as an entrepreneur, man, like it's not an easy life.
No,
but
by no means.
It ain't, this ain't you know, get rich quick, man. Like you gotta believe in yourself every single day. You gotta, like, you know, listen to that J. Cole interview, and he was like, you gotta dream so big, and then dream more big on top of that, till like scares the living hell out of you.
Yeah.
And every single day I think we wake up here right on Black with No Chasing, man, and we scared. But I think that the idea of failing forward and still getting up and doing the work every day with people you love and trust and can grow with, that's the part of life I love.
And you get to meet amazing people outside of, you get to meet amazing people.
Yeah.
I think the one telling thing for me is I was coming out of the building. It was a record store called Leola's Record Store where I used to work, and I used to do my work when I was real young and do my airbrush. And I was coming out, and there was a liquor store called Sugar Hill right across. And a lot of people didn't know she had a basement. And I was coming out of there, and it was like 12 o'clock at night. And these cats came up with on me with guns. And they was like, yeah, you know, what you doing? You know, we know you got something going on over there. And this older cat, man, came, and he was like, man, don't you know that the clothes that you wear with that airbrush shit, excuse my language, that airbrush stuff, and
No, you good.
You're gonna kill the man that does that for you when you in the clubs, because he's the one that does that. Leave that young man alone. He's doing good. Let give him a pass. Leave him alone. Y'all get away from him. And dude, my life could have been ended right then and there.
Yeah.
If not for some OG that saw what it was and knew what it was that I was doing. And it was actually the owner of Sugar Hill that got them away from me, from the liquor store. And when I tell you, man, this thing it's like this. It's like this. It's like this. You hit this, it's a different thing. You gone. And so, like the old rap song, one day you hear, one day you gone. Like the regular song, one day you hear, one day you gone.
Yeah.
I just really appreciate the opportunity and the time that you guys have given me, the format. I need to find out how to offline just grab everything and then share it with everybody. So,
for sure.
And what I need to do is also follow you guys and just be in the moment. And if there's anything that I can do to help what it is that you're doing, if you're doing something and I can contribute, let me know. I'm with you. The energy is good, and you know I recognize things really quickly. So just let me know, and if anybody on here is playing any golf anytime soon and wants to come to the ATL and needs me to come
up. Man, look, you know what's funny, man? Drew called me to this morning, and he was like, man, are you free this weekend? He said, bro, FAMU got an alumni tournament.
FAMU, is that an organization?
Excuse me?
FAMU, I've never heard of this.
Hey, man, we got to, hey, man, the time well spent, man. We got to get this brother off the
Hey.
Now he called me this morning. He said, man, you can come down this weekend. I said, bro, I'm already going to Florida. And he was like, damn. But I be looking to play golf, man. I mean, bro,
y'all gonna be trying
indoor,
to play
outdoor, all the golf, man. I play golf literally probably 6-7 days if I can. So,
all right. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode, another rendition of Black with No Chaser Live. We definitely want to invite you back for the next one. We got a whole list of folks that'll be coming through Black with No Chaser Live. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to all of the things that we got going on. Make sure you follow Ansel on Instagram. That's Ansel Butler Art. And man, we are out of here. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Thank you so much.